So, child, speaking of adult cinematography and things of that nature, let's get into this mess. So, apparently, a U.S. priest from Wisconsin. Did we talk about Wisconsin earlier in the show? Or was that somewhere else? Who lost his job after being outed for using Grindr is suing the queer dating app, alleging that his data was sold without his knowledge or consent. Child, now, if you can't, this is a cackle. It's like, first of all, sir, y'all supposed to have taken a vow of celibacy. You ain't even supposed to be on Grindr. So what are you talking about? What you talking about, Willis? So yeah, that's him right there. So Monsignor Jeffrey Burrill, who was the top administrator of the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops, sorry, say that 10 times fast, that's the USCCB, until his resignation in 2021, claims Grindr failed to inform him that his data was being sold to vendors. Isn't that like the thing we all know, that your data, you have the possibility of your data to be sold to other things? I mean, hello, Facebook, all of that. So they said that informed that his data was being sold to vendors, thereby allowing people outside the app to know he was on it. The release of his data caused significant damage to his reputation, Burrill says in a lawsuit obtained by the Washington Post, especially given the vow of celibacy he'd taken as a priest and also the Catholic Church's long-held stance against homosexual sex. Now, Burrill was forced out of his position with the church after the Christian news website, The Pillar, ran a story exposing him for visiting gay bars and using the dating app, reporting it had tracked down and verified his behavior using online data. The ex-priest alleged in his lawsuit that The Pillar received the data from Catholic Lady, and that's Laity, and Clergy for Renewal, the CLCR, a Christian nonprofit that bought the data from queer dating apps to take down church leaders using them against their vows, implying that Grindr has sold it to the organization. Said, "We want answers so we can use that as a warning to other Grindr users," said Gregory Helmer, an attorney for Burrill. Burrill had said he never have joined the app had he known his data would be available to the public, according to the lawsuit. To have that decision forced out of your hands and into the public realm is reprehensible. This is what James Carr, another attorney representing Burrill, told the Washington Post. Burrill, who Helmer said is still getting on his feet following the shame and embarrassment of his outing, asked Grindr for $5 million in damages in June. The company declined his request, and he sued on July 18th for damages and the adoption of policies preventing user data from being made publicly available without users' knowledge. Maybe you need to read a fine damn print, because I could have sworn that it was out there that your stuff can be, that you have to give. I know on my phone, when it comes to situations, that you have to give the permission to, like, I guess, outsource or use your data. So I know there's got to be something in regards to that. But here's the thing. What they were saying with this, they said that because I want to go back to the whole organization thing. They said that a Christian nonprofit that brought data from queer dating apps to track down church leaders using them against their. So I guess what it was that, okay, so now I get it, because I thought it was some people that was like going in on the priests for being hypocrites and saying like, well, because y'all are talking about, all this homophobia and stuff that goes on in the church, that we want to get the data so that we could take y'all down and expose you. But it's not. It's the Christian people who said that are tracking y'all and trying to keep an eye on y'all because y'all supposed to be keeping up your vows, which is the vow of celibacy. Now, you as a priest, and especially being a Catholic priest, and me growing up Catholic, yeah, y'all supposed to take a vow of celibacy. But who didn't know that the clergy was full of homosexuals? I wanted to use the F word, but I was like, since, I got to keep it PG, I'm going to say the homosexuals. Who didn't know that a lot of them was floating around in the priesthood? I remember one time one of my friends said that when he was younger, he wanted one of his priests to touch him inappropriately. I said, you was a mess. It's like, why would you say that? But it's like, look, when the feelings is doing what it do, we ain't going to sit up here and try to act like this ain't things that people was thinking about. But I'm like, child, that's something you keep to yourself. That's not something you say out loud. And he put it on social media too. That's why I'm bringing it up. So it wasn't like it was kitchen table talk. So, but with this thing is, it's like, wait a minute, I don't feel bad for this guy because I'm like, you are supposed to take a vow of celibacy. Me growing up Catholic, that was the thing that we always was supposed to believe. And we already know in organized religion how y'all feel about gays and all this other stuff. Like y'all call us an abomination, all this other stuff. But it also goes to show that, you know what? Nature is what it is. And human beings, we are mammals last time I checked, and you cannot deny same-sex attraction. That is just a part of our DNA. And the fact of the matter is, a lot of y'all get up in these whole church situations because you're ashamed of who you are and you're ashamed of being a homosexual. So you got to run up in the church and try to hide up in there, but then you want to have your cake and eat it. It's like, no, sir. That's not how this works. You don't get to have your cake and eat it. Like if you took a vow to stay away from the peen in the vagina, then you should not be up in there seeking it out at the clubs. You should not be going on, the apps and trying to get that good. It's like, no, you need to be all miserable and say your Hail Marys and your Our Fathers in your room like the vow you took and abide by it. So that's something that gets on my nerves with this whole situation. But I don't know if he necessarily has a case in this situation. I just feel like you're only mad because your ass got caught in this whole situation. And we'll see. I'll keep an eye on this story as it develops, and we'll see if he's able to get away with getting a little coin out of it because the whole data sharing thing. I just think that people really need to, I mean, clearly you can see from the picture that he a man of a certain age, but people really need to pay attention to the fine print of things before y'all start downloading stuff and thinking with your little head instead of your big head. So I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this story? Do y'all sit up here and think, okay, Mr. Priest, you basically got what you deserve in this whole situation? Or do you feel bad for him that the whole data situation was so and his ass got caught because his ass was not supposed to be up in no gay bars trying to get him a screw for the night, and you're not supposed to be going on the apps searching for no peen or no vagina? So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below.